Hey everyone, and welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're going to be diving into a question that I think is on a lot of business owners and executives' minds when they're trying to get their business out there online
Yeah.
and really make a mark. And that is, why are some pages discovered
Yeah.
by search engines, but they never actually show up in the search results
Right.
we're talking about? That dreaded, discovered, currently not index status.
Yes.
You know, you put in all this blood, sweat, and tears
Yeah.
into your new website or a landing page,
Yeah.
and crickets. You're not getting any traffic, no leads, no nothing.
It can be frustrating.
Because it said it.
It's a head scratcher for sure.
It is.
And I think it really comes down to understanding how search engines work.
Okay.
Particularly Google. You know, they get to decide what content deserves to be on those
Right.
coveted spots on their results pages.
And that's what we're here to break down today.
Absolutely.
So our listener Mandeep reached out with this exact problem.
Okay.
Redesigned their website,
Mm-hmm.
added some fresh content,
Okay.
and Google Search Console is showing that these pages are discovered, but not indexed. So they're essentially invisible to potential customers.
We are. And
So where do we even begin to unravel this?
well, first, I think we need to sort of appreciate the sheer scale of the internet.
Okay.
I mean, Google is constantly crawling trillions of pages every single day, trying to make sense of it all. It's like trying to organize the world's biggest library with no Dewey Decimal System.
Chaos.
Chaos, exactly. So when Googlebot finds your new page,
Uh-huh.
it doesn't just automatically add it to the index.
Okay.
There's a whole evaluation process that goes on.
So Google's kind of playing gatekeeper here.
Yes.
They're deciding, which pages are worthy of, being on the shelves, so to speak.
Exactly. And what's worthy of being shown to users in response to their queries?
What are their criteria?
Well, it's multifaceted, but one really crucial factor is server capacity.
Okay.
You see, Googlebot wants to avoid overwhelming a website's server
Right.
with too many requests, They don't want to crash your website.
Okay.
So if it senses any potential issues,
Mhm.
it might hold off on indexing to prevent disruptions. Think of it as Google being a considerate guest.
Okay.
They don't want to overstay their welcome.
So if your website is running smoothly, Googlebot's more likely to stick around and check out all your pages.
Precisely.
Right.
But it's not just about technical performance.
Correct.
Google also looks at the overall quality of your website to gauge the potential value of that new page.
So what you're saying is
Yeah.
that dusty old blog post I haven't touched in years could actually be hurting my chances of
And
getting
it very well could be.
my shiny new product page indexed.
Yeah, because Google assesses the quality of your entire website, and
Right.
all of those pages contribute to that picture. It's like having a messy entryway to your shop,
Right.
It might make people question the quality of what's inside.
That's a really good point. That's an eye-opener for sure. So how can we make sure we're sending the right signals to Google? What steps can Mandeep take to address this discovered currently not indexed issue?
Well, first we need to confirm if the page is truly not indexed.
Okay.
Google Search Console gives us like a snapshot,
Mm-hmm.
but it might not be completely up to date.
So how do we double check?
The simplest way is to perform a site-specific search on Google.
Okay.
Just type site : your website, followed by the URL slug of the page in question. If it appears in the results, you're good to go.
Okay.
But if not, it's time to do some digging.
Okay. So let's say Mandeep's page is truly MIA. What's the next step?
Well, then it's time for a website audit.
Okay.
We need to identify any underlying issues that might be hindering Googlebot's ability to crawl and index the page.
So what are we looking for in a website audit? What kind of red flags should we be?
We're looking for anything that could be perceived as low quality or confusing to both users and search engines. So think broken links, slow loading times,
Okay.
poorly written content, confusing navigation. Yeah. Or even something as simple as duplicate content.
Duplicate content. So like copying and pasting text from other pages onto a new page.
That's one form of it, but sometimes it's unintentional.
Okay.
For example, having a page accessible with and without a trailing slash can create two separate URLs with identical content in Google's eyes.
Oh, so it's like having two versions of the same book
Yeah,
on the shelf at the library.
exactly. It gets confusing
Yeah.
and it can really hurt your website's authority in Google's eyes.
Gotcha.
And this can happen with URL parameters too, like those generated by filters on an e-commerce site. You might think you have a manageable number of pages, but Google might see hundreds of duplicates.
Well, that sounds like a recipe for disaster.
It can be so.
So how do we clean up those duplicates and signal to Google which version of the page is the one we want them to focus on?
Well, there's a couple of handy tools at our disposal.
Okay.
One is canonical tags,
Uh-huh.
which are little snippets of code that tell Google, hey, these two pages are essentially the same.
Okay.
Just focus your attention on this one.
So it's like a little sticky note that says, hey, Google,
Yeah.
this is the original focus on this one.
Yes.
Okay.
Another option is to use 301 redirects,
Mhm.
which permanently redirect traffic from one URL to another. So you're consolidating those duplicates into a single authoritative page.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right.
So we've tackled the duplicates.
Right.
We've addressed any technical issues.
Right.
We've ensured our content is top-notch. Anything else we can do to give this page a fighting chance of getting indexed?
This is where we get strategic.
Okay.
We need to signal to Google that this particular page is valuable and deserves to be indexed. One powerful way to do this is through XML sitemaps.
XML sitemaps, lay it on me.
Think of an XML sitemap as a roadmap for Googlebot.
Okay.
It outlines all the most important pages on your website. Adding your page to this sitemap is like saying, hey, Google, this page right here, don't miss it.
It's like sending out a VIP invitation to the Googlebot party.
Precisely.
And
And it doesn't stop there.
Okay.
Internal links, those links within your website's content that point to other pages,
Right.
also play a crucial role.
So if I'm writing a blog post about, say, SEO,
Yeah.
and I want to link to my services page,
Mhm.
that counts as an internal link.
Precisely.
Okay.
These internal links not only help users navigate your site,
Right.
but they also demonstrate the interconnectedness of your content to Google. It's like building a network of roads that connect your pages,
Gotcha.
making it easier for Googlebot to discover and understand the value of your content.
So it's all about weaving this web of connections.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing links from other websites, those backlinks we hear so much about
Yes.
are also important in this equation.
Absolutely, but backlinks act as endorsements from other websites,
Nice.
signaling to Google that your content is valuable and trustworthy.
So if I'm trying to get my new product page indexed,
Yeah.
getting some mentions and links from relevant industry blogs or publications could give it a boost.
Exactly. It's all about building credibility and demonstrating to Google that your content is worth indexing
Okay.
and showcasing to users.
This is fantastic information. I'm wondering, are there any other strategies we can use to nudge Google in the right direction?
Once you've made all those improvements,
Uh-huh.
you can use Google Search Console to request a recrawl of the page.
Okay.
It's like saying, hey, Google, we've made some changes. Come take another look.
It's like ringing the doorbell and saying, pizza's here,
You got it.
to get Googlebot's attention.
And with any luck, after that recrawl,
Yeah.
you'll see that dreaded discovered currently not indexed status change to a beautiful shining indexed.
That's what we like to hear. I think
Yeah.
many of us, myself included, assume that if we put content online, Google will just magically find it
Right.
and showcase it to the world. But clearly there's a lot more nuance to it.
There is. And that's why we're here, to unravel those complexities and demystify SEO.
This has been incredibly helpful. But I'm curious, beyond getting that specific page indexed, what's the bigger picture here? Why should someone who isn't struggling with this exact issue care about all of this?
Well, what's fascinating is that fixing indexing issues often leads to broader SEO improvements.
Okay.
When you start digging into quality signals, cleaning up your website, and focusing on creating valuable, interconnected content, you're not just helping one page get indexed, you're benefiting your entire website's performance
Right.
and visibility.
So it's not just about solving that single problem, but about raising the bar
Exactly.
for your entire online presence.
Precisely, and that's something every business owner, every website manager should be paying attention to.
Absolutely. Now, before we move on to part 2, where
Right.
we'll explore even more strategies for boosting your website's visibility, we want to give a shout out to our amazing friends at Shield Media.
Yes, Shield Media is a digital marketing agency that specializes in helping businesses, particularly those in Western markets,
Okay.
achieve their online goals through SEO, PPC advertising, and social media marketing.
They understand the unique challenges faced by businesses like yours, and they have the expertise to tailor their strategies to your specific needs if you're looking to take your online presence to the next level. Shield Media is a fantastic resource.
They are.
We'll make sure to include a link to their website in the show notes.
And of course, if you're finding this deep dive valuable, don't forget to hit that follow button and share this episode with anyone who might benefit from these insights. We're passionate about helping businesses succeed online, and we believe that knowledge is power.
Now let's dive into part 2. where we'll uncover even more secrets
Yeah,
to SEO success.
sounds good. Welcome back to the deep dive. Before we move on, I think it's worth reiterating just how much those seemingly insignificant pages on your website can really impact your SEO.
Right, we were talking about how even a blog post
Yeah.
from years ago
Yeah,
could be affecting our rankings today.
it can.
But it's not just about the content on those pages.
Right.
The structure of your website itself
Hmm.
plays a huge role as well.
Absolutely. We've touched on duplicate pages earlier, but I think it's worth diving a little deeper here
Okay.
because this can be a real trap for website owners. Remember, Google wants to provide users
Right.
with the most relevant and authoritative results. When it encounters multiple pages with identical or very similar content, it gets confused.
Well, it's like having several copies of the same book
Yeah,
scattered throughout a library.
exactly.
It makes it harder for people to find
yeah.
what they're looking for.
Right. And it dilutes the value
Right.
of each individual copy.
And it can really hurt your website's authority
Yes.
in Google's eyes.
Exactly.
So if you have a page that can be accessed with and without a trailing slash,
Mhm.
or with various URL parameters
Oh.
from filters and sorting options, Google sees those as separate pages,
Yeah.
even if they have the same content. So what can we do to consolidate these duplicates and signal to Google which version of the page is the one that we want them to focus on?
Well, we've got a few tools at our disposal.
Okay.
One is to use canonical tags.
Uh-huh.
These are snippets of code that you put on your website
Uh.
that tell Google, hey, these two pages
Okay.
are essentially the same. Just focus your attention on this one.
So it's like adding a little note to Google
Mm.
that says, hey, this is the original,
Exactly.
ignore the copies.
Yep.
Okay.
Another tactic is to use 301 redirects.
Mm-hmm.
This permanently redirects traffic
Mhm.
from one URL to another,
Okay.
essentially telling Google this old page no longer exists. Send everyone to this new location.
Gotcha. So we've cleaned up the duplicates. We've made sure our content is high quality. We've even got some backlinks. Anything else we need to consider when it comes to getting those pages indexed and ranking well?
Now it's time to think about the human element,
Okay.
user experience. Ultimately, Google wants to serve up the best possible results
Right.
to its users. If your website is slow, difficult to navigate, or just looks terrible on mobile devices, it's going to hurt your rankings,
Yeah.
even if you've done everything else right.
Yeah. Nobody wants to wait 5 minutes for a page to load or pinch and zoom their way around
Nobody has time for that.
a website that's not mobile friendly. It's so frustrating.
And Google knows that. They've made page speed and mobile friendliness ranking factors.
Right.
So they're not just evaluating your website. From a technical perspective,
Okay.
they're also considering how real people experience it.
So how can we ensure we're providing a good user experience? Where do we even begin?
Well, it starts with responsiveness.
Right.
You know, your website should adapt seamlessly to different screen sizes and devices.
Mhm.
So it looks great on desktops, laptops, tablets, and smartphones.
Right.
Nobody wants to be scrolling sideways or zooming in just to read your content.
Absolutely. What else should we be paying attention to?
Page speed is critical.
Okay.
People are impatient these days. And if your website takes too long to load,
They're likely to bounce before they even see your content.
so we need to optimize images, minimize code, all that technical wizardry.
You got it. But it's not just about speed. Navigation is also crucial.
Okay.
Your website should be easy to get around
Yeah.
with clear menus, intuitive labels, and a logical internal linking structure.
It's all about making the experience as smooth and enjoyable as possible
Big-
for the user.
And when you do that, you're not just pleasing your visitors, you're also sending positive signals to Google,
Right.
telling them that your website is a valuable resource for their users. So it's a win-win.
This has been a fascinating deep dive into the world of SEO.
It has.
We've learned that getting noticed by Google is not just about throwing up a few pages and hoping for the best.
Definitely not.
It's about creating a website that appeals to both search engines and humans.
Absolutely.
And as we've discussed, the world of SEO is constantly evolving. What works today might not work tomorrow.
That's the truth. That's why it's so important to stay informed
Yeah.
and adapt your strategies accordingly. But sometimes you need a helping hand to navigate these complexities and stay ahead of the curve.
You do.
That's where a trusted digital marketing agency like Shield Media can make all the difference.
They can.
They have a wealth of experience in helping businesses, especially those in Western markets, achieve their online goals through SEO, PPC advertising, and social media marketing.
They take a holistic approach, focusing on both technical optimization
Right.
and user experience to create a website that ranks well. and converts visitors into customers.
If you're feeling overwhelmed by the ever-changing world of SEO, reach out to Shield Media. They can help you get on the right track.
Absolutely.
We'll be sure to include a link to their website in the show notes.
And if you're finding this deep dive valuable, don't forget to hit that follow button
Yes.
and share this episode with anyone who might benefit from these insights. We love helping businesses succeed online, and we believe that sharing knowledge is key.
Now let's take a deep breath and gear up for the final part of our deep dive, where we'll explore some unexpected aspects of SEO. That might surprise you. Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into the world of SEO. We've covered a lot of ground,
We have.
from the importance of indexing to the nuances of user experience. But there's one more crucial aspect
Right.
I think we need to touch upon.
You're absolutely right. We've talked a lot about the technical aspects of SEO, but there's a human element
Okay.
that often gets overlooked.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
It's the psychology of search.
The psychology of search. What do you mean by that?
It's all about understanding
Okay.
how people actually use search engines
Mhm.
and what motivates their behavior. Think about it. When you type a query into Google,
Right.
you have a specific intention in mind,
Ah.
a need you're trying to fulfill.
Right. Whether I'm looking for a recipe, researching a product, or trying to find a local business.
Exactly. And Google is constantly refining its algorithms to better understand those intentions and deliver the most relevant and satisfying results.
So it's not just about matching keywords anymore.
It's not.
It's about understanding the context and intent
Yes.
behind those keywords.
Precisely. And that's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
For example, Google is increasingly using user signals like click-through bounce rate and time on page to gauge the quality and relevance of a page.
So if people are clicking on my page
Yeah.
from the search results, but then immediately hitting the back button,
Yep.
that's sending a negative signal to Google.
Unfortunately, it is. It suggests that your page didn't meet their expectations
Mm.
or answer their question.
Wow. So even if we've optimized our page for all the right keywords,
Right.
if we're not providing a good user experience
Yeah.
and fulfilling the searcher's intent,
Yeah.
we're not going to rank well.
That's the bottom line. SEO is no longer just a technical game.
Okay.
It's about understanding your audience, anticipating their needs, and creating content that resonates with them on a
Right.
deeper level.
So it's about connecting with humans, not just algorithms.
Precisely. And when you can do that, you unlock the true power of SEO.
This has been an incredibly eye-opening conversation. I think many of us tend to view SEO as this mysterious technical beast,
Yeah.
but you've really demystified it
Mhm.
and highlighted the importance
Yeah.
of that human element.
And remember, even though we've covered a lot of ground today, this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Right.
The world of SEO is vast and ever-changing, which is why it's so important to stay curious, keep learning, and adapt your strategies as needed.
Absolutely. And if you're feeling overwhelmed or need a helping hand to navigate these complexities,
Yeah.
we highly recommend reaching out to our friends at Shield Media.
Yes, they're fantastic.
They're experts in helping businesses,
Mm.
especially those in Western markets, achieve their online goals through a combination of technical expertise
It's the best of both worlds.
and user-centric strategies.
Yes.
And of course, if you enjoyed this deep dive and found it valuable, don't forget to hit that follow.
Please do it.
And share this episode with anyone who might benefit from these insights. We're passionate about empowering businesses with the knowledge they need to succeed online.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you walk away feeling inspired and equipped to tackle your SEO challenges head-on. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible online.